This is Need for Speed Most Wanted 2012, which was developed by Criterion Games and released by EA Sports Electronic Arts. It is the 19th title in the sequence of Need for Speed, which got released worldwide for PC, mobile, Android, iOS, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360, and even more some other devices. And here is me, just a kid who's trying to bring back something in this game which doesn't exist anymore, and that is multiplayer. Yeah, this game had a multiplayer mode called Autolog, which allows us to connect with multiple people and play multiplayer with your friends, family, yeah, blah 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 blah, etc. Before we start reviving the multiplayer mode in this game, we have to understand the basics. How does this game work? What's happening behind it? And how does this game communicate with the server and the client? Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. It's actually a lot of advanced stuff. So we might not be able to jump into the advanced topics immediately, so we have to know how does this thing work and we have to figure it out. So let's get into the video now. And before starting the video, I just want to tell you guys that I am not a cybersecurity expert or a penetration tester slash anyone like a reverse engineer. Nope, I am not them. I am a developer, a kid who is in my bedroom and doing some shit. So yeah, let's get into the video now. And probably this is not going to be a single video because obviously I can't cover the advanced topics and a lot of them in a single video. So it's going to be, I don't know, maybe 4 to 5, 6, 7 videos long. 6, 7. So you might take a look at this game now, which is a legitimate fresh copy of this game from Steam. RIP. Okay, hear me out. We're gonna revive the multiplayer, basically. So we need to make a server because the current servers or the before servers which was running, they are probably dead or shut down. So we need to create our own server from scratch for this game. And with the server, we have to create the clients. After the clients, we can connect it and we can play the game. Create our own server in my potato PC. So let me explain how does this gonna work. When I mentioned a server, you guys might think a huge bunch of sound grinding noise in a room, that is what server, right? No, that is not a server. So what is a server? A server is just a program which gives us a functionality called client. So what is a client then? A client is another program. That's it. Okay, it's not like that. Okay, that's enough of yapping. Let's try connect to the multiplayer. Open Easy Drive, go to multiplayer, connect. Let's wait. And all right, we got a problem. We have to be signed in to access the multiplayer mode for this title. Was it not the case in other titles? I don't know. If you don't, comment down. It's a really big problem. We have to figure out a way. And obviously we got an error that says connection failed. Let's close the game. You might think, we already know that the servers are dead, right? Why do we need to do this again? Actually, there is. We have to do it. The whole time I've been recording, I've been running a program in the background called Wireshark. So Wireshark helps us to find what it tries to connect to. So it's going to be like an IP or a domain name while using the Wireshark. I was able to find it, and this is the IP/domain. And I'm not going to read that. Anyway, I'm not going to read that. How do we gotta believe that's the EA server? So at the end, we can see the EA.com domain. But if you don't believe me, you can open up Google or any browser that you like. So to check whether the domain name is a legitimate domain where it is EA's, we have to figure out, is that belongs to EA? Yeah, we know that ends with the EA.com, but we have to find it, right? So to that, we have to use a command called nslookup. So where can we use it? We can use it in our terminal like this. Just type nslookup and hit enter. You might read it with this. But we could use it here. Yeah, we could use it, just copy paste and hit enter. But if we do that, it's not gonna work properly. The reason? Obviously, the servers are dead. So we don't need to do that. Instead, we could open up a browser and just type nslookup again. Hit enter, and we will greet it with a lot of websites. And go for this one. This one works good. I don't know. You could go for anyone if you want. Just go inside and paste our domain name, DNS lookup. And after that, we will wait After waiting for the few seconds, we able to see this. What it's mapped to. Basically, when I say mapped, this domain is not an IP. This is an IP which is trying to connect. Basically, this IP is mapped to this domain where it's trying to reach. This is where the servers were lived before. So we could see at the bottom, Electronic Arts ILM Limited, where it proves it is the legitimate copy of a game where it could work. That's a good sign. We are doing some progress, I guess. Right now, you guys are probably thinking, then what is the point of NS lookup then? Actually, it has a lot of various purposes, but I will show you guys a cool purpose you can do to your friends. So, open your terminal and type NS lookup and go for something, some random website name. I don't know. I'm going for GitHub and hit enter, and we got this, right? We got this. What we can do with this? Simple. Open up your browser and paste the IP that you got. And any moment now, voila, look at this. I'm in GitHub using this IP. It doesn't need to be just GitHub. It can be anything. Google.com. Copy. How's that? Isn't that cool? Even we could use ChatGPT. Back to the game again. Finding the host name was really the easiest part in this challenge, which we could do probably in 10 to 20 minutes, I guess, if you know how to use Wireshark properly. Anyway, but to revive the multiplayer by just finding the domain name or the host name does not matter. It needs to be NFS accept the real-time EA service protocol. So what is a protocol? Protocol is a set of rules or instruction or just a form of things to do some other thing. Like we saw the first thing when we tried to connect to the multiplayer, we have to be logged in or signed in to access the multiplayer. So this is how the EA protocol might work. This is just assumption, okay? First, the EA server sends a request and it checks whether we are logged in. And to log in, we have to be authenticated. After authentication, we have to create a session. After the session, after these all the things done, after we can reach their servers and try to connect matchmaking. After matchmaking, we have to synchronize all the games together, all together. So this is how it works. Authentication, login, session making, and matchmaking and synchronization. If you do all of this at once by myself, probably I may not be able to do. I really don't know to do anything of these things, what I just said. I just know the process, don't know how to do it. So what we're gonna do, instead of just creating everything by myself, we gotta create the essential part which are gonna be needed, and we're gonna remove the other parts and reuse the already existing code in the game. So to do that, we're gonna reverse engineer the game. So what is reverse engineering? Reverse engineering is a process of decompiling or deconstructing a product. It could be anything, a real world entity or a digital entity, it doesn't matter. In our case, we're gonna decompile a game or deconstruct a game. So after deconstructing, we might be able to access all the files. We might be able to read what it tries to do. Why we have to do that? First, the game is compiled and confiscated. The reason it is compiled, because our computers can't understand the higher level human language like English or any other language what we try to communicate. Computers just understand only one thing, zeros and ones. So when we compile our human language higher level code, compile it to a lower language executable where it gives us a fast runtime basis. But to understand the code again, we can't take a look at the compiled code. The compiled code is mission language executable, which is not understood by humans like us. So we have to decompile it, and then we might be able to access the real code, what human may be written. It won't give us the actual code, what it might be written, because it doesn't need the functions, variables, return statement, if statement, conditional statement, looping statement. It doesn't need it. It just needs, it just needs 0 and 1s. So we might be able to not get the exact code, but we have to figure it out. It's gonna be hard, I guess. To document this process really well, I just created a repo in the GitHub. You could take a look at the GitHub repo in the description. The link might be there. Yeah, if you want, you could just comment or do anything to help me. If you do that, I will just give the code open source, man. Come on. So I don't know if I'd be able to make a next video for this. If I did, I see you guys there.